May is here, and so is American Stroke Month. Today, we're going to speak to Pierre George Bonifiel. He's a lawyer and stroke survivor who is celebrating his 10th anniversary of surviving a stroke. Throughout all of this time, he's been doing pro bono legal services to immigrants in need. He's going to talk to us, and he's going to share some of his tips for making it to that major milestone, 10 years post-stroke. So Pierre, why don't you tell us first about all of the great work that you're doing as an attorney?
Great. Well, thanks, Diego. So, what I'm most proud of actually is the 10-year anniversary is pretty amazing. I mean, I think that it's something that I was based on what the shape that I was in 10 years ago. You know, I never knew that I'd be here and in the shape that I'm in. So I thank thank my lucky stars and all the hard work, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, obviously life continues. And the first thing I do every morning when I get up is I just say thank you, because ultimately at the end of the day, I know what it was like to be on the other side where I was not able to, I almost didn't make it. So I thank God. I always say thank you, for this opportunity to just really be able to live another day and do what I can in the world. And it's what stroke has made me very humble, because you realize that we're really here for a very short period of time. And I try to do everything that I can in my power to become a better person, to really give back as much as possible. One of my proudest moments, I was able to assist a transgender woman from Honduras come to the US and basically get asylum in the US. And we've even applied for her green card now. Everybody was in tears because everybody knew that it was the right thing to do. Now we've been able to help this one person get out of, a situation that was really, really super bad, to the point where now she's living her American dream.
Well, Pierre, the work that you're doing is so timely and relevant with everything that's going on in the United States, Mexico, and Central America, and also at the intersection of gender identity and transgender movement really throughout the world. I remember when we were preparing to do a story in February for your anniversary, you sent me 10 photos. Those photographs of special moments throughout the last 10 years. I want you to talk about maybe some of those photographs, and also tell me what's different about your life today than it was 10 years ago.
Well, first of all, I'll start off what's different. What's really super different in my mind is that, as I've mentioned a few times, we as attorneys and we as men think that we're unbeatable, that we are, masters of the universe, that we cannot be, defeated. Meanwhile, something as small as a stroke, a clot, maybe the size of, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 inches, could just change your life forever. It's really super important for us to really slow down a bit and just take a deep breath and, appreciate what we have. And like you mentioned, the photos, we went, my wife Marisa and I we love to travel. So we've been to so many different places, and we just enjoy it. And we appreciate the fact that we can do it because we're healthy. We work out every day. And it's much to my chagrin, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. The alarm goes off and my wife is up and she goes, let's go. So I get up and we go down to the gym and, spend an hour down there. So if you do that on a day-to-day basis, your health is going to be much better than sitting around and not doing anything. So really just to take advantage of those moments, you should really try to really do what you can to just really take care of yourself, as mentally and physically.
Yeah, Pierre, what's been really interesting about working with you over the last 5 years is how your story has evolved, and how the different topics of our research and publication and improved health guidelines has followed your story. And now, as you're reaching this 10-year anniversary milestone, you're also lending your voice to some of the research that has come out around depression and post-stroke, because you've been doing it for 10 years. So you have a lot of insight to tell us about the things that have helped you sustain your mental health, but like you just mentioned, live still thinking preventing another health crisis, preventing a second stroke. So tell me about how those two things interplay.
My goal is to live my life to the fullest. I figure we have a limited amount of time in this hotel, so we've got to really just make sure that we take advantage of it. And really, just more than anything, I think it's important. So when when I do feel like I'm having one of these days, like Marisa says, then she just pulls me out of it, and I just remind myself, let's go. Let me go out for a walk. Let me go and see people. Let me go listen to music. Let me go for a jog. Let me go work out. Let me do something to get myself out of it, because ultimately, I'm always happy when I'm out of it, because I know that I beat it and I can move on.
What do you hope for your 20th anniversary? And where do you hope that the treatment and recovery of stroke will be 10 years from now?
A lot of work being done by, by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, a lot of phenomenal work, doctors and researchers out there. And I feel that we're getting closer. And I think that ultimately, will there be a cure for stroke? I'm not sure there will be, but if there's ways to treat it, if there's ways to catch it, if there's ways to possibly stop it, then ultimately I think we're going to be far, far ahead of the game.